really stumpy ones other times. I think we've seen a 13-3, 13-3 at one stage or another, so Koi aren't quite up there for that accolade just yet, but it depends entirely how Ascent is going to play now. Fnatic moving with some pace, but Wolfen was ready to respond. It's going to be a bit of a battle around tree here as well as Koi has called him enter even. He swings out as well and makes it a second. Fnatic there caught in a bit of a Venus flytrap, and Koi starts strong.
That was a gorgeous round out of Koi. I'm trying to think back what Fnatic's attacking pistols have looked like on this map, because they seemed completely prepared for what Fnatic were trying to do, from trying to catch out Alfier, who starts in the tiles position and is looking for sort of that late mid play, and then just pincering into tree. That was absolutely clinical.
Door being closed might actually help here, given we're sat in the pistol round. It will at least isolate a 2v2 on the upstairs for now. Really getting that spike down is something. It at least gives them a few hundred credits to play with. However, I think we can all say which way this round should be going at this point forward. Wolfen walks in and finds another one for himself. It's a total clean house for the side of Koi. They find a flawless round here in the pistol.
That's what the break was for. Coming up with that now. Thankfully, we have sorted out the monitor issue, so great start there from Koi. Sort of popping out of their smoke down bottom mid and catching that Killjoy. Again, they hear the turrets, they know Killjoy's playing over that side, so...
Just a really smart flank, I thought. I mean, they were
really good.
Ready for the pincer, and Fnatic just walked into it. Played like a fiddle.
Now, I'm trying to see what Koi are going to do with their money. For a second, it looked like an FPX buy. Instead, it is. Maybe it's not. Bulldog switching around to a Spectre, switching to pistol. Back and forth, back and forth. So a little bit heavier here, but the idea is one player dies, you can have all four heading into the next, and you're going to be very happy. So Fnatic trying similar things with a smoke down bottom mid. Same sort of Killjoy setup, although the turret is in spotting out B main as opposed to on top of tiles. So, well, it doesn't catch a player peeking, you know, from CT or from tree. It doesn't reveal his position.
Come out with heavy armor on a couple of the players as well. In round two, one on the Spectre, one on the Bull. Straight over the top. Trying to see what they can find coming in through mid, as that is where Fnatic have grouped themselves up here. Again, wanting to try and force it.
That's a deep smoke. They want to fight into CT. See the smoke here? They're going to come around the corner because Boaster teleported up forward. He doesn't actually find a fight, but it's a fun little gamble, I think, on an eco.
I mean, he's playing a pretty good spot. Smoke comes on through, and that's the concern now. Playing it at close range, but can't win it out either. No. Koi just far too tall up here in round two. Fnatic going to fall to the slaughter. Alfier finding at least one.
Not much of a chance here, about to walk into the meat grinder, so Durka has to find something with the Spectre peeking towards CT, but he will not, and now that that rifle, very unlikely to actually be recovered. So Koi react well on the fly, but I like the little wrinkle Fnatic throw in there with the deep smoke. This is a map where it's like just so impossible to push into CT, that sometimes if you just throw it out of completely left field, and come up with it, you can try to find a cheap little kill in the back, and they almost had that, right? I don't know who it was that walked out of market that almost pinched back into Cold Dementa playing near CT there, but the bait of Durka, or Boaster rather, going all the way into CT almost gave him a shot.
That's how the one side was the recon dart, the other with the smoke as well, to provide full information on what was going on inside of spawn. Just sadly, guns not quite on the side of Fnatic. So we finished those first two rounds. Now we come into that power-up round, and this is where things could get a little bit saucy. And let's not forget as well, this is journey where Fnatic did well back on Lotus those first couple of rounds. Then we saw a little bit of competition coming out from Koi. 4-2 we were sat at after 6 rounds. So Fnatic want to repeat 4 rounds on the bounce, so we can accept nothing less.
A lot of continued mid-presence from Fnatic. The smoke does hit Wolfen, but I think Wolfen's going to try to peek out of this. Not even a flash ready for... I think actually Trex threw a really high flash, because he only has the one in his inventory, but Wolfen ended up not peeking off of that. Now they've actually lost control over bench. Still an alarm bot here, and a lot of players. Koi are realizing that Fnatic love to fight over mid like this, and they want to sort of cut them off at the pass.
It's a very tight and narrow mid control. They're not trying to hold deep in towards A or deep in towards B, instead just holding where the possible flanks can come through from either of those sides. As you can see, you have, of course, the Killjoy sat on towards one side, the Sova on the other, but Fnatic look a little bit unsure again. I know I've said back on Lotus that they're a team that are very happy to use the full round timer. They're in no rush a lot of the time, but you stall out here, you just invite Koi to get themselves repositioned, ready for what's going to come at them next.
Yeah, they're also waiting for cooldowns, right? Chronicle's knife just came back off of cooldown as they send the drone in towards A main. Don't really spot much of anything. But if they work into a late B, the turret and the double mollies there are going to do wonders for stalling. It's down to 30 seconds. They got to win through market going quick.
There we go, straight in as well. Hit out by the Carano, but it's full white flash himself. Durka can do nothing but wait for death to come. Now Leo's the next one step up as he comes back towards Pizza.
Wait, they just lost this round. They do not have time to plant.
They haven't got enough time, but they've still got to try and push forward and see what they can take from this one. It feels like bit of a spray through the smoke coming out of Bosa. Does net one. But round is done and dusted, but there's 10 seconds left on the clock.
Guys? Fnatic, I mean, Durka tried to flash in off his teammate. I think there was a counter flash that shuts it down, but then he dies in market. They have to kill the Killjoy, but no one can actually get past it with all of the stalls. Sure, Boaster hangs out, gets one on the opposite end, but that was a peculiar round from Fnatic, trying to sell a fake over towards A with just the drone coming in, then exploding into market, maybe catching a player trying to rotate through or something, or by droning in, you pull that CT player back, but Koi didn't really bite onto it, and then, yeah, they just didn't have time in that. They were relying completely on Durka to win the round.
I mean, you saw the bullet flash coming out of Durka while he was sat there full white flash, and probably didn't realize himself that the man he was facing was having shot by the paranoia, wasn't able to see either.
Oh my god.
But gave himself away.
That is 4 players just going absolutely nuts, just doing everything they can to set up Wolfen.
They surely know. They'll see him first here on the long angle. Sure enough, perspective of that angle working against Alpha here there. However, probably on the read that there was a lot of aggression coming out, it means Fnatic can charge in towards the A side. They've got control of it at least for now, and only the Soul was here to be able to compete against them.
This might be a bit of a delayed retake. Trek spent some time taking the orb in B main after the team had started rotating off, so he's got to get back in. Has a flash to work with and a knife. Fnatic Protocol, you can see very clearly trying to break all that utility. They also have the one way out of trees, so it's very hard to split into the site. And Koi are going to be going heavy up through heaven, where there's a paranoia. The swing! Oh no.
But Durka just can't win it. Again, Wolfen finds his man. This is a position Fnatic do not want to be in. They had the site control, they had the guns. They are going to be broke after this round, as Koi have just charged their way through. They're sat in a 4 versus 1. Leo can do as he tries. But Trex will see to that end. A 4-0 for Koi to start things off here on Ascent.
Once again, the kills just not really finding themselves. There with the paranoia, Durka jumping up into heaven, but just gets shut down immediately. Very surprising. They, of course, lost Alfier right off the rip, but here you have it, just sort of tracking off of a couple of bullets seen on the opposite end. Wolfen's able to find that one. The retake, everyone gets scrambled on the side of Fnatic, so a bit unfortunate now. 2 rounds in a row. The utility has been there, I believe, but it's just not coming together. You can see it is...
Mini's not pleased.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean, this is not part of the script. Being down 4-0, certainly not a dream start. This is it's kind of this sort of time where I like to see if a team really is crumbling, maybe after this round, maybe even round 6, we see Mini call in the tap time out there and get things back on track. But for Koi, they have held really well against the Fnatic aggression. Admittedly, it's been limited aggression for a small part of the map and no further. And this time round, it's Koi's chance to go aggressive. Wolfen finds 2, Boaster 1 back the other way, but it's still a painful dent in this Fnatic roster.
2 rounds in a row now. Koi just trying to send it into one of the mains.
Hell yeah.
It's the pivot. After seeing so much mid attention early on, it's like, okay, if we can push up, either we encounter someone and we can try to fight our way through, or if we don't encounter someone, we can sort of pinch them off or have a quick flank option on them into mid. Maybe hear them running up cat, these types of ideas. Okay, Alfier just looking for all the spam spots. Doesn't matter what map. It's a journey.
I know, right? A smoky journey at that as well. This trading play coming in between the two rather than worrying about a direct confrontation, instead going for the wall bangs, neither finding each other. Leo is down about half HP, and now Fnatic are trying to make their play. In towards the side goes Boaster, but walks straight into Wolfen, who seemingly cannot be stopped this map.
Yeah, 4 for Wolfen. Koi take their 5th round right there. Respect to them. These early fights have done wonders for them.
I like a bit of early aggression.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking because you see the sort of pace of the round. It's like, okay, they win the pistol off of an early mid-aggress, right? Win the second, you know, no real surprise there. But then Fnatic lose on time, and now Koi just sort of ping-pong, push out B, push out A, both sides of the map they're winning. And then very nice looking on the retakes. Fnatic have to do a better job of catching the early fighting, and it's actually Koi that call a timeout.
Surely not. We'll get that one checked in case it wasn't Koi, but I'd be surprised if it was, given how well they've been going so far. As said, I think an earlier timeout coming in for the side of Fnatic to have this conversation will be most important. And hopefully at this point they can get things back on track. Again, it's a expectation that they come out 2-0 in the series, but Koi may yet be pushing this to be quite a difficult map.
I mean, an early timeout here, just in a half generally, especially like after you have been winning. It seems to me that the coach has a good read coming on in here. And I believe we have I may have just heard that both coaches have called a timeout. So we have a Koi timeout followed up by a Fnatic timeout immediately after this.
Yeah.
So a lot of time to discuss things. But basically, when a team like Koi calls it in this type of situation, I think you almost have to have a hard read or something that has been happening every round from Fnatic that you're trying to call out for your team and look for an angle to punish.
That's so bizarre. Like, we saw the logos go up and I thought, oh, surely we got this wrong. Only Fnatic, when they're down 0-5, can call this out. There's no way Koi would. But clearly they felt the need to, and yeah, Fnatic, I think, sorely need this time. Probably the wondering also of, if things start going south further into the map, there are no available timeouts to play with.
I'm trying to think about what just happened in the last round, because the initial aggression I thought was stalled, and then I think it was just Wolfen that just swung out from behind a one-way, just didn't really care, had some supportive utility. Koi have been doing a really good job of just setting up those fights Wolfen's taking with utility. At the same time, Fnatic have been using the util, but Durka just has lost out in those fights, even against flash targets. I think the market play from a few rounds ago, when they lost on time, he was actually counter-flashed by the KO on the opposite side, so a bit unfortunate on that one.
I mean, it was a good read by Koi, I'll give it them as well, because Fnatic, for the vast majority of this first half, or at least the 5 rounds we've seen, have either gone direct towards market or up through tree. The actual pushes in through Ale in the early round haven't really been too strong or really present. Instead, holding back more towards boxes and looking to challenge from that angle. So a good gamble by Koi that ultimately has paid off.
Oh, there are some big ults here with Chronicle and Leo having those from Fnatic. So it may have been some ideas for Koi to answer that. Of course, there's an operator now in play from Wolfen. So have to keep an eye on where is he actually going. Because right now he's playing Heaven, but that's a very passive op line. I'd be surprised to see him actually take. Right now they have no tree pressure from Koi.
Chances are as well you'll see Cordamenta with the Odin.
I mean, it's possible he's trying to play really far back so he doesn't get caught by the KO ult and then be in a position where he can't dash and updraft out to safety. He doesn't want to play an A or B main, that being the risk there, but I'm a little surprised not to see him contesting maybe for mid.
Cordamenta's one I'm keeping an eye on as well. You know what he wants to be doing here is just spraying a lane straight down from Boathouse in towards spawn.
Oh, he's pinging for the Killjoy turret. He expects it's there. He's just underneath it, though. That's tough. He was spamming on the ping, when in reality, the ping hits the lowest point on the ground. So you have to angle that slightly higher up to actually catch the turret as opposed to just the ticket box there.
It's tree hit again. Looks like it is. The smoke's off mid, so tree really has to be the play. You have got Boaster hanging out more towards A-Long as well, but it's going to be about this battle on short that's really going to change things here. Now they know that it's coming in. Starkster comes out for a swing, sprays through the smoke, finds absolutely no one. This time around, Fnatic can play things at least a little bit better, but they're jumping into utility and being
look at the pushing tree! Alfier just went nuts, only trades 1-for-1, throwing the spike back, but now just a bloodbath, kills through smokes everywhere, as Fnatic keep 3 players alive and get the spike to the site.
Absolutely, they're on the site, they've got control over, but it's still a 3 versus 4. Not the ideal situation to be in. Here comes Wolfen trying to make a play. It's equalized at a 3 versus 3. Durka gets one back. All hell has sort of exploded here. But the TP away, coming in towards Wine.
A scouting ultimate.
Gets caught out.
Yeah, just wanted to see if there was a player in main. They know there's one now. Now it's main and hell they have to deal with.
Still 2 left on side, though. Brings it down to this 2 versus 2. It's man for man. As Cordamenta finds one more. Boaster trying to bait out the fake TP. But do they have the read? Yes, they do. Shados with the shutdown, and Koi are going up 6-0. Not a line I expected to be saying today.
Koi are clapping back here against Fnatic, 6 in a row. It starts off with a fight in tree. I believe there was a good spam coming through that knocked down the KO right there, okay? Just a bit of a trade. Then Alfier actually had Spike in hand, turned around to throw it back, and was trying to get really aggressive with it. I like the attempt, but only ended up being a 1-for-1. There was another operator kill through smoke too on top of that, I believe.
That was 2 kills in the round. One was an Odin, one was the earlier kill as well, just straight through smoke. It was ridiculous.
And then Fnatic continually in the post plants are always taking 1 versus 1s, right? Boaster got scouted in main, that's tough, but then there was just shot after shot as Durka's just going to go ballistic.
I like the force, but he's got to get a kill for this and will not get it. A little bit desperate to make a play, and they pay the price. Leo, Hunter's Fury, he is that hunter. Finds him a kill to at least net things up over the 4 versus 4, but Fnatic here, I was going to say, look, they're flagging a little bit, not too sure what to do, and Wolfen capitalizes on the indecision.
Wolfen just shredding Koldum, that only left click. Oh my god, stop running into it! It's a massacre! Cannon fodder from Fnatic. My god, was that a missed molly? I don't know what the subtle flame of the obs there was, but I believe that's what it has to be.
It just got a little bit too passive, I thought, here. And once it got to a point of Durka charging in and dying, they realized that the smokes were working against them and had to slow things down, which just made sure that on the other side for Koi, 2 players could post up on Heaven. And while you saw exactly what happened next to Koldum enter, and Wolfen just mowing them down.
Fnatic seem to have eased up on the mid-aggressive and just trying to work in through sight, but man, Durka unsuccessful. I think there might have been a late knife coming out of Trex that also caught him. So much going down when he was up in outer space, touching the stratosphere. And he looked down for some reason. Now, Fnatic looking for a late A split here. But this could also, actually no, I think this turns back into a B hit. This is the exact setup they used when they fumbled the bag on round 3 and ended up getting stalled out through mid, where they tried to fake a hit over towards A with some attention, pull a rotate, and then tried to blitz it up through mid. We're seeing it with more presence shown though. The dart tag is gonna spot out Durka. The rest of the team now looking to pound in through B main. This is a new look for Fnatic. We haven't seen them try to work in through main yet. Spike is pretty far behind, but there's still Killjoy utility that's ready to stall, and the smoke falls in tree. It's a peek from Wolfen coming around the corner. Now you no longer have the mid pinch.
They've got to try and force this, as we say. At least playing up as a group, but trying to find the players that are sat on site is going to be their main battle. One stepping down deep, Shados in.
Both are dead. Durka was the only one that could smoke CT.
They've got a force, and that's exactly what they're looking to try and play for here. Starkso digging back at least for a second. A quick trade coming in, but again, it's a slaughter for Koi, who are going to be up 8-0 against Fnatic.
Critical errors from Fnatic. Looking a bit lost there. Boaster will usually spend rounds chilling in spawn to make sure he can smoke for his team, but was trying to take a moment to move up towards bench to be a quicker threat into tree, but with no smoke there, he falls, and then Fnatic are just coming in from, you know, out of main where there's just too many angles they have to clear away. Sight's not dealt with, players flooding in through CT, just not fun at all.
Well, 3 players in those gunfights for Fnatic weren't even looking at the main assailant coming out of it. Just showing again a good bit of team play off Koi, swinging in together, setting up crossfires, and ultimately Fnatic getting into some pretty uncomfortable positions. This time around it's Wolfen the one going a little bit crazy, charging on his way forward, looking to get control of the mid connector, and has done so, but now gets taken down by Boaster, punished for that over-aggression.
And now just back to the slot machine. They go in again, trying to take gamble after gamble until they fall down in numbers. Starzo's going to get cut down, so yeah. Sunk costs and all that. Koi continue to send it on in, and Fnatic are very thankful for the brief reprieve. Wow. Oh, okay. You know, personally, I wouldn't do that if I was down 0-8, but I'm also not the best duelist in the world.
I mean, clearly they feel they can make this one work. Trex will give himself away. A-side conceded. It looks like Trex might just try and save here, but Leo's going to give him no outs. How bizarre, and what a contrast to the previous 8 rounds we had.
Yeah, I mean, Koi have been trying to go for some aggressive moves. That, of course, is a bigger gamble than most, trying to instantly catch that player up top of tiles. So you don't actually see the replay, but it was actually a really good paranoia that Boaster threw into tiles to catch out the Jet. And after that, Koi, you could see Trex wanted to peek and try to find an angle to punish. A lot of times when you fall down to numbers, you have to keep taking a risk. Maybe they could have called it off just down in the 4 versus 5, but once they went down to a 3v5, you could see they just kept going back and back again, and it fell apart, and they're trying the same thing again? Okay.
Maybe they feel it's not that crazy.
Yeah, they don't like that Killjoy turret. Everything, I mean, even back to the pistol, it's been about catching out the Killjoy playing B-side.
Gives them the options more for flanks later in the round if required, I guess, but I mean, Fnatic have made it
now.
Yeah, Fnatic have made it relatively binary though. They've always tried to push it through tree or up through mid, as we've seen. Once up through B as well.
Chronicle can throw a lot of utility here. Doesn't quite catch that, but he does have 2 flashes he can try to throw down. And good play from Alfier there. So they swing together as a team, and now, once again, Koi just falling to pieces in mid.
Fnatic seem pretty happy just to let them play aggressive onto them, right? I mean, the locations where we've seen the two players die so far is basically identical to the last round. If they get a kill on Tree as well, it is an exact matchup. But this time round, Koi have pulled back. You can see the two players over towards A are rotating their way through towards Spawn or up towards Heaven. They don't want to give any more away, given they've already got to stem the bleeding as is.
Both just using the ultimate here to clear out Wine. A good play. The only way you really lose a round like this is someone being in a spot that you're not doing a diligent job of clearing.
30 seconds left.
Stark so. Was in a good spot, but they've already ran way past him.
Yeah.
Now it's Leo just holding, waiting to poke their head out of the smoke.
Shados is just one off the ultimate. If you were to get a kill, something could be done, but no, that's not going to happen. Fnatic going to cut down Koi here with 4 players alive. Just no chance in the round for Trex whatsoever. Fnatic are getting back on the board. And look, Koi, they go for this gamble play up mid a couple of times, which isn't a terrible play, but it is very high risk, right? You're playing to get 1, maybe 2 kills on the Jet and hope that can go in your favor. If you actually catch B side being the weak side of the map, you get a kill, then you can escape back out through B main. But 2 times now, that has not been the case.
Yeah, and you won't see that again. Now Fnatic has said it twice, they won't try it again.
And the only reason they tried it a second time is because they lost the round. They're like, Fnatic would never expect us to do it again, but it doesn't matter. Very reactable on that play if the kill doesn't come in immediately for Wolfen.
Counter spray coming in from the owners. They now try and force their way up through the B main. We noticed it earlier on, we'd only really seen them go via mid. This hadn't really been a play they've done. But now they're burning out the ultimates and making this one happen. Killjoy's going down, they're on the march on through. As of yet, no one going down, but once that Killjoy's in effect, that's when the Fnatic Storm will come in. And here they go, a second or two too early, but still find the opener. They've got side control here, Ender.
Huge, Durka finds the opener. That's been missing for a little while for Fnatic. Now in the retake, Shados has ultimate, but you have to be able to push up to switch if you're gonna lock that one down. Trex also has his. I like Durka, low HP, taking this early angle, seeing the head, not quite finding the kill.
Just cutting off that angle in towards Spawn side as well as the Killjoy comes down in response, as you mentioned. It will force everyone back in towards jail, though.
Yeah, Alfier really wants to fight through this one. The drone never saw him! He almost had that kill right there, but he falls. Koi now barreling forward on the retake.
But now they can flood back out and start retaking some of their own side. Fnatic are doing well so far. They found a 2 for Stark, so bites back. Fnatic caught in the jailers as they're not giving that one up.
Great opener there, Fnatic sending the ultimates in, but Durka playing off his teammate's utility to find that first one. And even though they got forced back off the Killjoy, in much better positions in the post plant, even without Alfier coming up big in that main position. Here you have it, just breaking. Oh, he actually missed his dash. He wanted to go all the way up on top of that roof and sort of glide over the edge, but actually helped in the end. The shots were
probably would have
ready.
sitting dead if it got that far across.
Yeah, I think it would have been fine, but maybe the second player behind, that jet that they flashed, wouldn't have been flashed for the entirety of that one. So maybe there could have been some retribution coming on through.
This would be loot, honestly.
Yeah, Wolfen wants to updraft off of this spam and get a kill with the knives.
Cheeky, cheeky. I think Dalfa does get tagged by it as well.
He dished back more than he got though, so he's gonna say, that's all right.
We'll deal.
Now, a bit split here.
This is the same again that you saw earlier on. You called this out last time as well when they split across A between mid and A, then hard rotated over towards B. They're doing the same again.
They certainly are. This time, Leo just 2 orbs away from the ultimate, so we'll see with Spike and a kill, maybe he can do it. Also, he's usually going to be your second to last one in, so very likely he just grabs the orb after working back towards B.
Here we go, there's only one player here as well. They've put 4 across on A.
And they see Shados running back into sight.
Yeah, and Bosa looking for the cut here. He might get someone for free if he plays this sensibly. No one else is coming. This could be a massive flank. Almost misses on the wall, but does find the second. Koldamenta turns around and finds it. A little bit of a whiff there by Bosta. That could have been round done and dusted. However, they still have site control. It's still a 4 versus 4, but they've got to deal with Shados sat him back. Finally gets taken out as well. A 3 versus 3 as the ult now comes out from Leo. Looking for what he can catch, but the Jet a little bit too tricky to catch and gets on through.
Alfier, they have to deal with him first.
Do they know? They must know.
The clock is working down. Alpha finds the first.
Looks for the second. It's just constant 1-for-1s between the two. Only Leo left here. We know he's a bit of a shock dart god, but a clutch god might be a different story and a bit too big of an ass. Got to look for both. Oh! Massive spray transfer for 4 rounds in a row for Fnatic.
Switching sides.
Wow.
Leo!
I would not have seen an 8-4 comeback after that first 8-round start.
I mean, that's just wild. Close round. Starzo taking those 2 fights. I mean, did he even stop moving? I don't really know.
I don't think he did.
Leo equally didn't stop spraying, so he's going to win that out in the 1v2 for the clutch at the very end.
All right, we're going to throw out to Yinsu, who's having a chat with Boaster's mum.
Yeah, thank you very much, Des and Ender. That's right, I'm joined by Boaster's mum, Boaster_mum on Twitter as well. I know you're pretty famous up there. Welcome. I know it's been Boaster's lifelong dream to play on a stage like this. How proud are you to be able to see him in real life?
Yeah, really proud of him. Yeah, I'm loving it being here today. I've never been here before, so really exciting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I will say though, being a Fnatic fan is kind of stressful. I know you've been through a lot of stress.
Knows how stressed I get, and I usually have to go away, go do something else, and then I'll just sort of look back in.
Yeah, peek in.
Yeah, and then think, oh yeah, we're doing all right now. I can look again.
I feel like you're living every Fnatic fan's a nightmare, I feel like, when they're losing. Is that how you deal with it, though?
Yeah, it has to be. I can't watch the whole of the game because, you know, especially like that, the loud one, you know, Brazil.
Yeah. That was me as well. I was like that.
I couldn't do that. But all the games and everything, I watch everything and I, you know, interested in all the players. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite player besides Boaster?
Oh no, not at all. I like them all.
Equally?
Equally.
Is there anyone that you're excited to see outside of Fnatic?
I was excited to see all of. There they are. Yeah, Jake's team and Minnie and everything, because, you know, he's been there from the beginning. Yeah, and then just everybody else, you know, I mean, I know the names Scream, of course. And
that's incredible. No, that's more than my mum knows, so yeah, that's incredible.
I do know quite a lot of the names, and I know a lot of the people, and I do follow a lot of the teams, and I know where they all sort of stand, but I don't fully understand the game.
Don't worry. I feel like some players don't either.
See who's dying, who's getting shot.
Yeah, I mean, Boaster's, he dies a lot, so you understand that at least, yeah.
And the score.
Yeah, well,
I'm getting better though.
Thank you so much, Susan, for joining me. Make sure you give Boaster Mum a follow on Twitter as well. And I'm going to pass this back to two people that definitely know what's going on, Des and Ender.
Thanks, Yinsu. I tell you, that was adorable. I tell you what, you could not have written a script that was better to show a classic esports mum interview live. What I love is that Boaster stared at his monitor for the whole thing. He refused to look and encourage it or anything. He was fully focused on winning the game, and sure enough, it started out strong. It's that opening kill onto Wolfen.
Yeah, Wolfen falls, and he was such a beast in the first half. They actually let him buy light armor and sent him a Frenzy, that's the gun, as well, to get in there, but he ends up falling down. It is a trade with Durka. So gonna late split back into mid. They've left Trex in B main. I actually wonder, do they go all the way to A? I think that ends up being the call, and they try to use Trex to sort of catch a player on a rotate.
Double bait.
Hold on. I think maybe he heard the Omen taking the footsteps. He heard Boaster running off the site, so that's why they're bringing him back here. It's fake on fake on fake. I love it. It's literally just Taylor Swift.
The back and forth, the dance, the up and down. It does look to be that B hit coming in. Big question really being here, do Fnatic have the read? There is at least one here. This fight is so critical, and Alpha Yi is so clinical. Finally gets taken down, but it's still down to a 1 versus 1. Chronicle versus Trex.
30 seconds left.
Steps up for one. Both down to about half HP here, a couple of taps.
Enough, 5 seconds. I mean, he can't run to A anymore.
Here we go. Oh, Chronicle, just a touch better here. And Fnatic keep the spree going. 5 rounds on the bounce.
God, these rounds are so close. Number 1 versus 10 in the standings. Fnatic crush on Lotus. And Koi go up 8-0. But now that's 5 in a row for Fnatic. I mean, just every single kill being traded out. This guy is just tracking through smoke there when his teammate dies in order to get the trade. Some of the trades they are finding just frankly ridiculous. Lining that one up off the map and off the sense of the shots.
It's what I'll give, and you've touched on it there. You look at the previous round we were in at the end of the last half. 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 the whole way through until it comes down to this 1v1 at the very, very end of things.
So like you're trading up. I trade up from a grain of sand to a mansion. Just trades all over the place. Alpha.
Good
Okay.
night. He looks for a second as well. Expecting the peek here and sees it. A narrow angle working against him ever so slightly, but still walks away on full HP.
This round a bit of a wash.
Oh, not.
I gotta keep my eyes just trained on Wolfen. Every single attacking round. He was so good on defense.
Yep,
If Koi were to come away with an upset, he needs to continue that. And also, like, the flashes, like, Trex was doing a lot of left kick flashes from high up to set him up for peeks through smoke and whatnot, which I always appreciate, as opposed to KO's just right-clicking through a smoke and saying they're pop flashing, and it just flashes for no duration, and then, I don't know, I'm old. But that being said, I like Trex's flashes.
Some built-in trauma there that's coming out of the broadcast, I think.
Look, I heard Nilthar complaining about his teammates not talking in solo queues, so now I get to go through all my grudges. What do we have?
30 seconds
We have
left.
smoke players taking first contact and dying. We saw that once with Poster. It's been better since.
Initiator's not using the flash.
Yeah, or again,
Duelists
doing
sprinting
lazy right-click flashes. Let's learn some lineups. I've liked it so far. As you can see, Wolfen up at 17 throughout. Durka had a very poor starting half. And again, like sometimes on the attack, you're just sort of cannon fodder flying in there. But I think there were a lot of times where there was good utility use from Fnatic, and he wasn't finding it. You know, I remember sort of the bullet tracers that Wolfen was tracking on and killing Durka even while he was paranoid and whatnot. So I'll have to turn, especially once an operator gets in Durka's hands. No surprise that he can sort of spin it around on a dime here.
The real difficulty, I think, is
just like that. Yep.
That's the kind of aggression and confidence you want to see out of Durka.
Actually, hold on. Remember when it was 8-0, Durka got the kill on the guy Heaven and then unloaded his entire clip into the body?
Yep.
Fnatic haven't lost a round since then.
No, they have carried on. Found that confidence somewhere in round 9 that has clearly carried them the whole way through. Althea into another. On course potentially, I was about to say on course potentially a second flawless round here, and they are not stopping. Finally they get one back on the other side.
Down A.
We call them enter. Left in a 1 versus 4. Fnatic almost about to draw things even.
I respect
the gamble for the gun.
Can he just run to B and get the orb there? Literally, that's probably his best play. I mean, Koi are full armor buyers on round 3 on the anti-bonus. So this actually is a swing round for them. So saving this rifle is important.
Anything they can take at this point.
So it makes making the mad dash for the orb a little bit less likely, but I would still like to see it. I could also be trolling. Maybe someone took it at the start of the round.
30 seconds left.
Actually, maybe Durka took it when he got the kill. I don't think so. That would be a crazy orb to take. I would probably be upset if my Jet was taking that orb after getting a kill and not just falling back. Speaking of pet peeves, overextending after you get a numbers advantage.
It's expected to push, but no one on Fnatic looks to be wanting to play that game right
10
now. Why would you?
left.
Things are absolutely rolling in their favor. And this round will be done. Up to 8 and 7. One more to go until things are drawn dead even. Which feels crazy to say. I know he said it was crazy to say that Koi were up 8 and 0 against Fnatic, but probably even crazy that things will be very quickly heading towards an 8-8 scoreline.
Well, the other thing, too, is because of the way these teams view the economy, I do believe Koi more often than not are upgrading into full armor. Like, when you don't play the light armor sort of like Fnatic buy, you have swing rounds, right? Fnatic, even if they're losing rounds, if they lose like every round, they'd be lucky to not have a buy 1, maybe 2 rounds out of the half. But you get into a pattern now where if Koi continue to lose rounds, continue all-inning with the buys, it's lose 1, you actually lose 2. Whereas Fnatic, even if they drop 1, they can still keep going again and again and again. So we'll keep watching that. The rifle that was saved was given over to Wolfen, who's playing back towards mid. Looking for a tree peek, but Boaster just jump peeking. Has what grazed past his toes and isn't going to want to deal with that anymore.
Looks to be the split into A. Considering the tree, the two of them with 2 playing up through long and getting a little bit closer. They have options to play behind, but it's been smoked off here pretty quickly. And now comes the step forward. Tree is in their favor with 3 players pushing in. True trying to push in through main as well, so this is where we've got to see some good reactions out of Fnatic. See 3 players all rotating in through spawn at exactly the same time. A lot of them being pinged down. Wolfen wins the 1. Into a second. Althea was looking for another, but It's Trex to bring it back on side. Site control is in the favor of Koi, but so many players are stacked up in heaven here for Fnatic.
Leo Shockey is looking for the poke. It's big chip down onto Kolda. Well, Chronicle's just farming up from heaven. Starzo alive with just a frenzy.
Down A.
Gonna try what he can, but simply nothing to be done.
No.
All things drawn square. Fnatic at 8 and 8. The alarm bells, no doubt, now ringing for Koi.
Just the one gun they had on Wolf in there. So Koi doing a good job to keep it close. Now Trex has the ultimate, and oh no. I don't like seeing that. The TP coming in and ruining everything. It's like you wake up day after Halloween.
It's like you're talking about another Riot game there.
See, I was making a toilet paper reference, but yeah, if you want to compare that to League of Legends,
it's such a versatile little acronym, I love it.
Teleport, you might be trying. We have that in this game too, an Omen TP.
We've seen the double TPs a couple of times today.
Yeah, oh, well no, because Bind was banned. I'm keeping up though, I'm keeping up. Yeah, well done. All right, do we see any monitors turned off? I'm gonna go to, oh no, we lost a man. Durka is gone.
Is he asleep?
There's there's just an empty chair.
Oh.
I don't actually know what the situation is.
He's actually gone. Okay.
Yeah, so that
is where he normally sits.
Yeah, that's a classic streamer moment where you just abandon mid-game. We'll see what exactly is going on. I hope he is doing all right.
Hopefully it's not a medical thing, but we'll find out, and if we can update you, we shall. Still, crazy game. Touched on it already a few times, but to start out the 8-0 for Koi to the bounce back for Fnatic, feels like they've really built up that confidence here and are just ready to keep on pushing through for the 2-0 win.
I mean, they can't stop winning now. It's 8 in a row.
Not forgetting as well, they're also playing a second series this week, as are Koi.
This is true. This is very true.
And
I believe they're playing tomorrow. Fnatic playing tomorrow, I believe. I forget. Back to back. I think Koi get a day off.
Bam. I mean,
but you know, there's smarter people that would know that.
Koi lose both of their games, they are donezo. This one looks to be going the way of a loss. I was going to say slowly, but here it is accelerated very quickly.
I'm going to hold out some tentative hope here, right? Second half, right? They lose Pistol, round 2, of course. Then you know they've only had like 2 real buys, I think, since. So benefit of the doubt is they've lost 2 real full buy rounds, and they've had some very close rounds, even going back to the Pistol. Again, Wolfen was a machine. Like, what is this swing? Going in behind the one-way, the timing of it going down right at the last second. I actually missed that when it was live, but that was sort of the timing of the swing. It was in that last second of the duration, but Wolfen was doing such a good job. Fnatic, some uncharacteristic mistakes. Now, of course, on defense, it's like much simpler for them, but they get in a position to sort of enable Wolfen around the map.
I mean, so much of it back in that first half, we mentioned it, but a lot of the replays, you'd see 2, if not 3, maybe even 4 players just being gunned down without even taking a direct gunfight, just expecting to get pushed from somewhere else, and before you know it, overwhelmed by the side of Koi. Has been a very different story in a second. I'm sure I'll have an update shortly as to what is going on, and we can get back underway.
But I promise it's not a monitor.
No.
I promise.
See, when you first were like, oh my god, I thought you were going to be like, oh no, 3 monitors have turned off. And I was going to be like, oh no.
Well, look, I was concerned, okay? Durka's making his way back to the stage. A cheer from around the arena. We can play the video game now. Everyone's excited.
How can a man hold so much power?
We love video
games.
games.
An entire broadcast, an entire game.
Look, you just wanted the classic standing ovation. He's smiling over there too. Nice of him to join us, you know, I must say. No?
No?
I'm gonna guess, and this takes us all the way back to the start. When I said TP, it could have been impactful. Anyways, there's no way of knowing. We'll have to ask the interview afterwards. But surely we're going to be hopping into the game in just a moment. I see a countdown. I see the round beginning. We are back into the game.
Yes, we are. And let's see if anything changes after that. Because for Koi, it has been 8 rounds without a win. Very back and forth in terms of the overall blocks being won, but not so much in the rounds themselves. Killjoy available for Alpha Year as well, which could make this a little bit of a battle on the side of Koi, though you are, of course, looking in towards the KO, which they have available too.
Alpha's been pretty solid on the side holds. Good for at least 1, a lot of times 2 for Fnatic. Respect there. They're going to run into potentially Durka as he tries to time the swing after the drone. Omen Smoke goes down though, so he's going to be blocked off for the moment. That's what I was talking about. Enable Wolf and get him up through mid. It's a market split. They know Alpha is here. Where's the flash to get him in? Actually, Trex is playing in main, so he's just going in without anything?
I mean, the paranoia followed through 2 seconds later. It was just too late. A little bit of mistiming on the side of Koi there. Out of sync and out of luck. Absolutely decimated by Fnatic once again. That small mistake potentially costing them the entire round, as Alpha Year will not be stopped. It's his market, and he's giving up absolutely no ground. Finds a third for himself. Fnatic go flawless. And you can kind of see again how that small mistake, the mistiming on the paranoia there, cost Koi everything.
Yeah, I really don't know what the issue was on that one. Of course, yeah, paranoia should just come in, but if there's no paranoia, they're still swinging around the corner here. Wolfen going ballistic on that one. They also, like, it wasn't like he immediately went sprinting up. There was time to throw that one out. The delay allows the wrap to come around from Catwalk as well, and to sort of cut off the players before they can get into market. That was just poor, I believe, from Koi. Getting ahead of themselves, Wolfen not able to have the impact, and now you can actually see Wolfen going for the hero rifle because he's going to have knives going into the next round. Shados as well, so they have enough for 3 players to buy going to the next. I think they're calling a timeout immediately afterwards.
Attack timeout.
Oof.
Ouch. I mean, looking at it this way, again, 9 rounds down. That round was a mess. Arguably the messiest that we've seen of the other 8. Maybe you can look at some of those and go, that's on Fnatic. They just played things better, but there, you've given them that for free. Constant 1v1s, not quite timed up on the utility. It's well played by Fnatic, but ultimately a mistake for Koi to rectify moving forwards.
Yeah, it's a tough timeout too, because you have to do a bit of scolding at the start. It's like, okay, we just need to make sure the timings are coming together on how we want to hit that, but then also coming in with a plan into the next.
Is that what you call scolding?
Yeah.
That was very gentle for a scolding.
Look, the thing is, you only have 60 seconds in a timeout. Like, it's actually really hard to get across like multiple points in a timeout. I got to actually, I mean...
No, it's more about how soft your scolding was.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I would, if this was VOD review, you go ham at him, you know, but you only have 60 seconds. You can't do much flaming. You just say you literally have to do that better. And I think it's the same setup. Coach literally just calls to run it back, but util has to be here this time. Actually, it's slower. No Omen smoke, it's delayed. The drone is going to come in to try and clear market as opposed to Cat.
And this time around, they've got a second player on Pizza, so they're actually moving a couple of players around here, potentially. Durka the one, of course, on the Jet, able to get back to safety easily, is the one holding on Pizza. So more committed this way this time.
I think Chronicle threw a flash for Durka to peek into mid, and they just kill Wolfen. So the round is just cooked instantly. That rifle was not recovered in mid. I'm pretty sure Koi still had the 2. They might have changed their buy.
This is looking rough. Oh no. I mean, now they've lost their lurk as well. They've only got the 3 players out towards B main. And they're staring down the barrel of a smoke. There was the nano swarms down, everything working against them. Durka's got him behind them, and they're just completely cleaning up once again. Fnatic will not be stopped. This will be their 10th round in a row.
That hurts. I mean, the entire timeout was to restructure how the utility and space was taken around mid.
You didn't even get to use it.
You don't get to use it. You just die before you actually get in a position to fight. I don't know if Wolfen was swinging before the drone actually cleared it through. It was just a late swing, yeah, like as the drone's going around the corner. It's like, it's hard to fault Koi for playing there because they're going at the right time, I think, but yeah, that's just Durka being Durka. Durka back online. Was absent for the first half largely, but now has made Wolfen really struggle to find anything in his openers.
What I will get to Fnatic was they exploded into mid there. They got the tree kill onto the lurking player, and then immediately 2 players, Durka and Chronicle, step down in towards mid and get that backstab set up looking for the 2v1s constantly. It was really good kind of in-the-moment decision-making that, as we can see, paid off spectacularly.
Durka holding a deep up angle back from Raptors. Allows him to, you know, avoid or take that wide angle if the Killjoy will get slammed down here. You can see he wants to move over into that corner. Killjoy's really far away from the team. Wait, they're just hitting A, but Killjoy was lurking out B. When you have a Killjoy ult.
Slight shoot, ducks at a carnival. Durka just holding at the long range here, doesn't really care too much about the smokes either, as you know, they're not going to push in directly. And once again, Koi have lost 2 players, lost a bunch of utility, but are having to rotate away and try and do something else.
I mean, I think playing into mid here is overcooked to the extreme. I guess they're saying Starso could maybe ult into B if they were trying to go for it, but I think you just save.
It's so hard because they've had to retake ground they've already lost as well. They don't know if all this is necessarily clear, right? They've got to re-clear this with 30 seconds on the clock. 1 player towards B, 1 towards A, 1 sat in mid.
He's actually going to get a plant off. No way, right? Okay, no, Fnatic haven't overbit yet. I thought for a second, but it's not convincing enough when you just throw like one piece of util.
I mean,
on the
he's gonna save?
Yeah, it's a full save.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, at the end of the day, getting a plant
10
off here
seconds
does
left.
not matter, I don't think, because Fnatic are going to 11 regardless, right? You've lost this round, so I'd rather have 3 rifles with Fnatic on 11 than potentially just the 2. So I think that's the right call, just to back away. If anything, these peaks in mid a little bit ambitious from Shados. Fnatic have a buy from here to the end of time.
That's the battle.
They've invested in like every single like long-term investment possible.
Just
No
the read.
short-term.
Man, both of those kills as well, the read through. Nice and easy.
But here we go. Like, Killjoy ult, if we're going to work into a site, you got to be working with the team. Shados was playing to sort of restrain that B-side aggression. Now he's with the team. Now, Alfier has ult for retake, but Coldement is going to use his to be able to destroy that. It's also possible for Koi to try to late play into tree with one player walking down catwalk to break that one so they can save Colda's ulti for the post plant.
Here we go, trying to push their way forward. Surely this amount of noise has been noted by the side of Fnatic with 3 players over here. And there comes the Killjoy. If that isn't any kind of committal towards the push, then I don't know what's going to be. Still for now holding pretty passive.
Yeah, no.
Expecting a swing, but none yet coming through from the side of Fnatic. Alpha here though, it's still here, this is the problem. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care about the fact that there's the Killjoy coming through, as this is still able to find the kill, and the team can now look to flood back in.
But there was a half second on the dart that would have revealed Durka. The timings are just slightly off from Koi and it hurts them. Now we have the late walk up from Shados to try and catch out the Killjoy ult on the retake. You gotta watch for that.
Finds out 4 in the back of it as the Hunter's Fury comes through as well. Here comes Shados. Things looking up slightly for Koi. Into a 4 versus 4. Durka into the 1 versus 1, which Starkso wins out. They found 2 more. Koi finally bounced back.
Okay.
It feels like they have.
Huge play there. Shados finds the 1, then Koi mopping up in the post plant. Doesn't matter that Durka finds that initial kill. After that, some great utility from Trex to take a couple of fights. And the operator will be recovered.
Not that they're needing to pick this up, really. The money they've got sat in the bank will cover them for a few rounds, that's for sure.
Now, good news is Alpha did not actually slam the ulti, so still going to have that one. Now the timings on Colda's ult there is also going to be desynced, so if it ends up being a retake again from Fnatic, they're going to be much more ready for that cat crunch, because now they know that's the only way Koi have of actually interrupting that ultimate. Here you go, you see the dart comes out. Wolfen, half a second, he's fine. But tries to capitalize on it immediately, is punished.
It's been a couple of times he's got himself a little bit far ahead of the utility rather than the patience game and the coordination slightly off at points, but it's a round win.
Yeah, it's hard to fault, you know, like the timing is so close, and then also, like, maybe there's an option, a world where he smoke dashes his way out when he wants to save it. It's just a tough spot to be in. Now, Boaster, they are going to be aware of that, I believe.
I love this. On 2 different fronts, Fnatic have gone really aggressive in towards B main and A main. They've battled their way forward. It's forcing Koi back and forcing utility to come out just to retake some easy ground. They're getting slaughtered once again. A 5v2 for Fnatic. And Koi looking all out of sorts here. It's going to be up to series point in this next round.
Fnatic have neutralized Wolfen. This guy had 17 kills at the half. I think he has 19 now. He's gotten 2 kills in the last 9 rounds. And it's because Fnatic are just murdering him with utility. Durka's found him a couple of times with the openers. The entries have been just ever so slightly off.
Player standing.
But Durka's going to miss that one. Trex down to 6 HP. Nothing but a dream. I think we all know exactly which way this one's going, and I'm with you
okay,
as well.
hold on. Do you think he gets the save off playing Hell the entire time in the corner? Because I think if he didn't move, he actually would.
He gets that and a kill.
Because who saves a rifle on the site, under the site?
30 seconds
No one does that.
The only battle is the damage that you do is probably greater to yourself than it is to them. Again,
How do you mean?
Fnatic aren't wanting for money. They don't mind if you go for a one-for-one here. Is he going to try and get out of this one? Valorant is now a sneak detective game. We're trying to get out a dodge.
Why is he looking? Don't look for a kill. He's wealthy. It actually doesn't matter. He's fine. He's got the dollars. If anything, maybe he's trying to like charge up and get an ultimate online. I'm deep in the sauce now. But there you have it. Wolfen just caught out behind the
Tinfoil hat
1v.
well and truly out.
Yeah. This is a brutal round. It's Koi scatter. When they lose Wolfen on one side, they know they have to accelerate on the opposite because now you've lost your dive player. So your only hope is to take an opening fight and quickly scale before the rotates can come through. But That is,
Man, Dirk has 19 kills now.
wait, Durka has just a small, like, cornucopia back there.
I swear the two Jet players have done the full swap for the sides as well. Because
Oh,
Dirk
yeah.
was like 6 kills or something silly earlier on, I think at the 11th round.
And
Now look at him.
Look, make no mistake, like, it is fun to play Ascent as Jet, not as really any other agent, but Jet just gets to have a field day on defense. The amount of aggressive plays you can do, the offing, whatnot. Here we go, splitting the site.
Straight in towards the turret as well as all the utility comes out. You see one of those Nanoswarms get a kill off the back of it too. Dirk is up there, had enough of the op, switches over to the ult instead.
Oh no, Shados just fell in
One
mid to
enemy
Chronicle as well.
Oh no! I thought it was a kill for the shot ball coming through, but no! Starks, though, the last one left standing. 4 members of Fnatic standing in before, and it may have taken us a while to get there.